12 noon on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West.
And this is Reprint.
This isn't breaking headlines. This is a second look with context added for perspective.
This is Reprint, edited after the headlines.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, happy afternoon. Y'all, when I tell you, I am the most frustrated person in the world right now. I think I may just have to, we were trying to start over with the reprint to make sure that we got today's headlines out. But it appears that my co-host is offline. So I don't know what the heck is going on. If you guys are here, just say hello to me. I just need some hellos. There's some weird stuff happening today. Today has been very challenging. And I guess
I'm
Victor,
here. I'm here. I was fixing my microphone and I clicked the button and it took me off the screen. I don't know what happened. I'm good. I'm here. We good. We got it. I'm just trying to get my system set up for this new platform, new look, whatever. But we're good.
All righty then. It's been a day, people. For anyone that's watching, thank you for watching. We are trying to do a version of the reprint today. We had some technical difficulties. It has been a week filled with technology challenges. So I would just say again, welcome for those of you watching. It's still early on the West Coast, so you guys' day may not be off to a start. It is 12:30 around here, and
we're a whole hour behind schedule.
It's 1 o'clock. So
yeah, we're a whole hour behind. Yeah, we're an hour. Yeah.
But it's 1 o'clock here, which means our day is definitely headed into a but you know what, I'm gonna take a moment to say that this day is not going to be filled with challenges, because we have, not only are we doing we're doing the show over, but later we are participating in the premiere of Imperfect Women with Apple TV. Hey Marriott. Jeez.
Yeah. It's been a day, but we're gonna get through it, and we're gonna prevail.
It's been a day here. It's been a morning there. It's 10, so you're still early enough to. I've
been up since 5, so yeah. I'm on East Coast time still. Trust me, I live on the West Coast, but I'm on East Coast time.
East Coast time.
Yeah.
I have a doctor's appointment today. I think I'm gonna have to cancel, but and just reschedule. But but this is, it's funny because we're promoting Imperfect Women, and actually we just want to send prayers, because part of the delay, guys. We got a phone call from our entertainment editor, but most importantly, he's a good friend. He's a part of our family, and his son is in the hospital after being hit in a car accident while he was on his bicycle. So we want to take time to send prayers to the Davis family. Their son is in the hospital right now. He's broken quite a few bones. I know mommy and daddy are very, stressed and frazzled and worried about him. So we got that call, and we just kind of took precedence over making sure that we get back online and get some information out to you all. But the idea of being imperfect is one, ironically, that I feel like we're doing this promotion with Imperfect Women, and I feel like that's something that I need to embrace myself, right? Because so often I'm so focused on trying to get things right, and I think there's nothing wrong in attempting to try to get things right, but I also think that we have to embrace that we are human and we are fallible, and there are things that are beyond our control. The technology issues that we've had today and Monday were out of our control. Our friend's son being hit by a car, definitely out of our control. And so we are just thankful that he is safe. He's okay, even though he's definitely got a lot of healing to do. And we're thankful that we are here. And we're thankful that you're watching, Marriott, and anybody else who is able to tune in if you're watching the replay of this. We are thankful that you're here. We are thankful that you are, that we have the opportunity to keep life moving. That being said, I'm going to play this trailer for Imperfect Women because the trailer there are certain shows that feel juicy and feel scandalous and feel like they're going to be a part of the culture. And I feel like this show is definitely one that is going to be a binge watcher. People are going to watch it. People are going to talk about it, share it. And the title is Imperfect Women. This series is airing starting tonight, premieres tonight on Apple TV. And we definitely are going to be a part of this. We encourage you to watch it. We'll be talking a little bit about it on Friday, but let's watch this trailer and talk a little bit about this new series.
Ladies, I'd like to make a toast. I'm so happy to be here with the two people I love most in the world, who I feel most loved by, the true friends who see me so deeply and accept me so completely. You guys seriously saved my life.
A body was found early this morning.
Ooh, all right.
Very
short. But you know what it says to me? It says that I remember Desperate Housewives. It feels like a mashup of like a Desperate Housewives, even a little bit of Scandal. It kind of has those, and of course Kerry Washington, who was the undisputable star of Scandal, is in this series. But when you talk about three women and secrets and marriage, and yes, Mary as the cast alone makes her want to watch. And I think, to me, marriage, friendship, there's always an opportunity to discover. People are not necessarily showing who you think they are. The write-up, this is based on Araminta Hall's novel about three college friends whose bond fractures after a suspicious death, leading to an investigation that uncovers dark secrets about their past. And so I think this is definitely, I'm interested to see it. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's feedback on Friday, but it definitely feels like one that people are going to be like, it's probably going to have some twists and turns, and probably some things that looked a certain way will not be that way. But I'm going to the premiere tonight, and then we're going to get into that. Victor, are you intrigued with like those type of drama series where they're character driven and you see like the relationships between the characters are a big part of the issue?
Yes, I don't think Apple has missed yet. Like even the morning show. I watched the morning show. Yes. I'm all caught up with it. They did a very good job with Apple puts out quality versus quantity. And you watch these shows and they're built on the characters, so you get the chance to watch the characters develop along the way. And they picked three powerful women. So Kerry Washington, we know her from Scandal. She is amazing actress or actor. I don't know how you want to categorize that. And then what's the other lady's name? Moss.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, from
Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth Moss. She's an extraordinary actress as well too, from Handmaid's Tale. And then Amanda, the last one, I forget her last name, but she also she was also on the TV show House of Cards. She had a part on that.
Okay, Mara, I don't remember, and I was
I think she was the one. Remember, he was dating Kevin Spacey was dating this reporter girl. He was reporter. I think that was her. Oh. If I'm correct, and then he killed her or whatever. But whatever.
He did. He pushed her.
He pushed her. Yeah. So, but we have and then we haven't looked at the men in the show as well too. I don't remember all the names of the guys, but there's some. I think there's another guy that was also in House of Cards. The white guy that was playing he was trying to be senator or governor or something like that. He had a bald head or whatever. He's also in this as well too, and the cast seemed to be very well, a very good cast. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the story plays out. And now I don't know who the producer is or how it was produced or the direction, but from what I've seen in the trailer, I'm looking forward to seeing this tonight. I'm gonna see if it comes. I'm gonna find it and watch it because it looks good.
It does look good.
Yeah.
It does look good, and I'll definitely report back, share some clips from tonight's conversation about being an imperfect woman, and what better way to. I think that's something that we also need to talk about in National Women's History Month. Last night, I interviewed a young lady that has a organization that focuses on young men and women in college being unsafe and college safety, and there's a lot of essay and things that happen on college campuses that are not good for our young people. And so she talks about just making sure they understand that. Can't wait to share that, and we'll talk a little bit more about that on Friday, that interview on Friday. But today I'm excited because we are finally launching the exclusive interview that I did with Tasha K.
Yes.
We're gonna let you guys see a sneak preview of that. But remember, if you want to see the entire thing, and trust me, you do, Tasha is very, very candid. She answers every question I ask. She is very relatable. It's a very different Tasha K than I'm used to seeing, and I actually appreciated her coming and having a conversation with Lenox Parker. So we're going to play this clip and then talk a little bit about the entire interview, which is now live on Lenox Parker. Hilarious. Marriott says she's still throwing jabs. Hilarious. Still, well, she's Tasha K. She's still throwing jabs. What did you think of? Did you watch the whole interview, Victor? What did you think of the interview?
I thought she was genuine. I thought that despite what people see on social media, she seemed genuine about who she is as a person. And we all grow and we all go through things in our lives. And when you live in a very public space, it's hard to edit as we're going through it. We see what's happening with us here with this platform and the other platforms, and and when you're going through stuff in real time, there's no place of space to edit. And when you're growing, and other people are involved, humans are involved, you have stuff comes up. And so she's learned and she's learning in real time what life is about. We've all seen it. We've all seen there is no safe growth. There's always pain in growing. When something's growing, when a plant grows, it breaks through the soil, and this breakthrough, this growth, there's pain, so we've seen it. But I thought she was very genuine. She's funny, personable, relatable, because she comes from humble beginnings. And so I thought the interview was great. I think you did a real good job as usual. You pull out the best out of people, and it's funny and it's captivating. So yeah, great job.
Marriott says she's a person betting on herself and made a huge mistake in the process. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
I admire people that are able to bet on themselves. It's not easy to do in a environment that, basically specifically as a Black woman tells you that that you don't fit the status quo, that you don't, so many different things. But the fact that she doubled down and was able to believe in herself. She has an amazing husband. I think that's also a big part of what people don't see that I was seeing behind the scenes. And there's an article that goes up today as well about her, and how a big part of that from my interview was really seeing how her husband and her basically, operate as a real team. They are a team. And I think when you see one half of it, it looks like, oh, well, this person is out here just doing things on their own, but she has a very strong support system. They approach things, as a dual business. It's not her business; it's the two of them. And I do, she admitted, if a person admits they've made some mistakes, what more do you want from them?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What more?
To be honest with what you just said, I want to touch on it a little bit. A lot of times, especially in our community, we hear this thing where people are what's the term you use? They're like when you come up by self acclaimed or whatever the case is, and a lot of times when you see women or men out here successfully saying, "Oh, I made it to the top by myself," no, it's like, no, you have a husband or a wife at home working to pay the bills while you try to do this business thing, because business doesn't always work the way we think it does. And people have these big numbers. Oh, I made $1 million last year, and I retired my mom or my dad, and I did this by myself. No, you had somebody working a 9-to-5 job to pay the bills and keep lights on and food on the table while you figure this thing out. And we have to be real honest about that. And I like the fact that she has her husband and they work together as a team. We don't see that too many times in Hollywood. We've seen Denzel and his wife. We've seen what's her name? The two he's an actor and she's an actress. Black. I can't think of the names right off the top of my head, but we've seen Courtney something. His name.
Courtney Vance and
yeah,
Angela Bassett.
yeah, we've seen them two, power couples. So we've seen examples, but in most cases, when it comes to lower entrepreneurship or smaller brands or whatever you want to call it, you hear a lot of the self-made millionaires, self-made brand millionaires. And it's like, nah, hey Tammy, we're back. Yes, we are back.
Okay.
Yes, we are back, Tammy. Thank you for coming back and seeing us. We had some issues this morning. Woo, we had some issues, but we need you guys. We love you guys. And we thank you guys for always rocking with us, despite what we're going through, because it wasn't me and it wasn't Crystal, it was the platform. And
I know that we got some technical stuff to do, but sometimes simple is just best, man. I just thank God for StreamYard.
Yeah.
Just thank God for StreamYard.
Put that on me. Put that on me. Imperfect me.
No. It's not even that. I understand. You're right. I mean, some of the ability to do what you want to do, you need a more, a different type of platform. But when it comes to getting it right, you just got to get it right. So,
I mean, other people use other brands use the other platform too, and they seem to be fine. I don't know if it's internet connection. I don't know what it is, Crystal. I really don't know, but we'll figure it out. We're here.
We'll figure it out. But what's important is that we're here today, and we are excited because not only are we celebrating Women's History Month, we are celebrating with Imperfect Women, but thankfully we have our Black business that we're celebrating today is going to be joining us in just a minute. And I'm excited to have this conversation with Ray Abram. He has launched this new platform that we think is going to be great here in Atlanta. So where he's going to be getting on here in just a second. So yeah, I think that, we're pushing through. I think that it's important right now. We wanted to take a break from some of the headlines, the news and political headlines that we've had. We constantly is Trump and ICE and the gas prices. But I think sometimes it's important to just focus inwardly. And so in addition to Ray Abram joining us with his new platform, we also have a snippet coming up from our politics and communities editor. He sat down with a new young politician that is extremely young, but is extremely passionate. And it kind of begs the question, how do you all feel about that? I know for a long time when we see young politicians, sometimes it feels like, does this person have enough experience to be in this position? But also, Victor, you and I were talking last night as we were preparing for today's show about the fact that a lot of these senior politicians are, they at 85, at 70 something years old. I mean, are they relevant to that? Maybe is there such thing as too much experience?
Yeah, we've it's funny you said that, because I saw a clip on Instagram going around where they're even talking about Trump, and the guy was like, we've had two old I think it was I forget the name of the show, but he was interviewing two other gentlemen. They were talking about age and ageism and being relevant in the culture, and they were pretty saying how, like, Trump and Biden are they referenced a Lil Uzi Vert song about money and the president, and the guy was like, you know what, he's right, because when you think about old money, you think about old presidents, and that's a bad thing. So our politicians, I think there should be an age cap. You know how they say you can't be president until you're 35? It should be you can't be president if you pass the age of 55 or age of 60. It should be 35 to 60, and after that, you can't be president. And the reason why I say that is because we have these older men who seem to stay around too long in the position of power. And I think that if the government could somehow come up with a board of trustees or board of directors, people need to move off of where they're at. If we have a senator that's 80 years old, he should not be able to run 20 terms. He should be able to go somewhere else. No, move on to a board of directors and not let the younger people come in and usher in the new changes that need to happen. And we've seen this across the board where people die in their seats. It's like why is our country doing that? You know, why does the median age for politicians is 65, 70? We have a lot of old people in there. People die in their seats, and then, you know, we have guys come on now.
I did not know that. Tammy said that, first of all, she said that she's considering running, and I think you should, Tammy. 55 is nothing. As I told Scorpio Mo, that double nickel is good, you know. The
double nickel. Oh, I like that term, double nickel.
But yeah, she says that you have to get out of the military at 55. At 65. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, you probably yeah. I don't know if it's active duty. I don't know what exactly.
It must be active duty, but at 65.
I mean, you should be able to stay in some capacity as in an advisory role, but you should not be an active. You know, I mean, I think any job, there should be any position of power, any position in any job, you need to move the workforce along. When you get to be 65, 70 years old, you're good as far as like leadership, as far as like advisory, but you should not be heavy lifting anything, you know. I mean, honestly, right? So president shouldn't be that. And as I was thinking, I said, wait a minute, we have 3 more years with President Trump. Oh my goodness.
We have 3.
This is just the first year. We got 3 more years to
go. No. We have 3 more years. We're just now in the second year. Just now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, two years now, but that's still. And we're right here now. He's talking about taking over Cuba. I'm just like, oh, and by the way, Cuba has a nation island-wide blackout right now.
Has a what?
Island-wide blackout.
Oh my God.
No power anywhere.
Oh my God.
It's been months. It's been 3 months since they've had fuel sent to the island. You know, so
there's an
but you know,
blackout.
Which means, you know, when the sun goes down, you go to bed. Pretty much, there's no power. I mean, you know, yeah.
Oh my God. Well, and that's why I'm telling you guys, economics are the key to us moving our community into a different place. With that being said, we want to welcome back our guest for today, Ray Abram.
Yes, hello.
Ray, thanks for coming on. We
so
appreciate you
for coming back and understanding.
We apologize. Yeah.
Our technical difficulties, but I told Ronnie we definitely were excited about this. What we do here, we do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it's really important for us to. We started it with in February, you know, with honoring different types of Black businesses, but we realized that it's really important for us to do that all the time. It's important. It's not important for us to do it during Black History Month. That's almost like a slap in the face to yourself. Yes. We need to be doing it all the time. We need to be highlighting. We need to be constantly having a conversation about what other Black entrepreneurs are doing and how we can work together and how we can support them. So with that being said, thank you so much for agreeing to come on with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited about talking with you guys.
So I know you are here in Atlanta. I've actually seen you before out and about. And I love the fact that you are launching Great Night ATL to redefine social connection. When I was made aware of this platform, I was excited because I think for so long, specifically after 2020, when we kind of got used to not necessarily being out, I think the dynamic and the culture has shifted, right? And so people come here to Atlanta, they want to know what to do. Sometimes they're just nervous about where to go, what to do. And so talk to us about how you, and I'm sure your team came up with this, and what is the mission of Great Night ATL?
Absolutely. I think you nailed it right on the head. And that's how it happened is during the pandemic. During the pandemic, everybody was kind of, in the house, and we got used to it, and, and sitting on the couch and Netflix, and so much stuff just kind of came into our lives over the last few years. And, then it was like, okay, the pandemic's over. But now people were a little hesitant, I think, to come out. The world changed, just the way things operated, hours of operation, the businesses that we were used to going to have a lot of them closed. And so, it's kind of a reset. And so where we are is that there's a lot of apps, as you know, that allow you to find things, right? So if you're looking for just a thing to do, there are places to go for that. However, none of those apps really do a good job of helping build community. And I want to double click on that word, something, safe, and, someplace that, you feel comfortable. And so what we want to do with Great Night is more of a social network first. It's not just another event app. Really we're focusing on building communities and allowing people to get to know each other and figure out, meet people, people who like to do the things that you like to do. And so our mission to help get people out of the house. One of my key phrases is, there's a difference between, being welcomed and being invited, right? What I find, and you may have the same experience, that, I am 10 times more likely to go to something if people are going to miss me if I'm not there. Right? And it's like, I'll sit on that couch and I know it's 8 o'clock, even if it's something I want to go. I may have even purchased a ticket, but it was like last night. It was cold. It was like 35 degrees. I don't think I'm going to go because I anything where people were waiting for me. But what Great Night does is you build a community where people are waiting for you and expecting you.
Very nice. Now let me ask you, because I'm, my background is in publicity, and so my first thought, and of course here with the Reprint, we do some events. We are excited, super excited, and I can't wait to share with you offline, Ray, about our upcoming Black Music Month celebration that we're going to do in June. We would love to collaborate with Great Night ATL, because we know Atlanta is we feel it, but I think when people come here, they want to feel the energy of the city. I was just talking yesterday on Fox 5 about T.I. performing at the Hawks game. Like, that just felt so ATL, right? Yes. So how can people get involved if they have events that they want to share that are happening, I guess, in the metro area that they want to share with Great Night ATL? Like, what is the process for becoming, getting your information on and sharing that with people that are of like mind?
Absolutely. Well, that's absolutely free. So on the app, there's a create event button right at the top. Just click the button. There's a form you can fill out. If you don't have a flyer, we have an AI component that will create the flyer for you just based on the description, and then, we have a human in the loop. So we approve it. It's not instant. We like to just look at the event before it gets into the feed, just part of our process. But so it's really easy to get involved. However, what we want to do is start building these relationships and creating a point of view so that we partner with folks like yourself or other promoters who are event planners who are doing, special things in the city, so that we can give a little bit more shine to those, as well as, bring people out. And, so we're working on building those connections and those partnerships now.
Very nice. I just want to ask you, what was your experience like? Did you grow up here in Atlanta?
I did not. I grew up in Virginia, but I in Atlanta. I went to Hampton, shout out HU, and moved here in 98. So I moved here in 98. So I've been here for quite a while. So now it's so it feels this is home for me. I love the city.
So you have been here long enough to have experienced. It sounds like the ending stages of the Freaknik era, and things. I moved here. I remember visiting in the late 90s and when I was in college, and then moving back here, shortly after that, early 2004. And I can tell a difference. Like, to me, there was like, it just felt, you would go out and people would, it was very Southern in the fact that people are very nice and very open. There wasn't a lot of crime. There wasn't it was just a lot of people enjoying beautiful Black people, beautiful, successful Black people enjoying themselves. What are some things that inspired you that you attended or maybe were a part of to want to do this, to make sure that people still have those experiences here?
Yeah. So, well, I'm going to tell you, it's more for me is that I'm kind of introverted, right? Believe it or not, most people don't believe it. And so, I'll go to things and I'll just stand on the wall and I'm the guy holding my drink, watching people, and so I end up not having a great time unless I'm there with others, right? Now, when I go with other friends, or again, when people meet me there, then it's more enjoyable. Or when I meet people at the event, I tend to have a really good time. Like, go to the bar and sometimes and just meet the person next to you, and they're there with two friends, and we end up hopping in a car and driving around the city. I did that one night right before the pandemic, as a matter of fact. I was up at the fellowship at a camp place and met some folks, and we ended up hanging out, going to 3 or 4 places, coming home like 4 a.m. So, those type of things. But what I want to do with Great Night is kind of incentivize people to do that, and create a platform where people feel comfortable and safe in meeting people and being introduced, because I feel like there's a lot of people who don't go out, not because there's nothing to do. There's hundreds of things happening in Atlanta every day. They don't feel, invited. They don't feel like they're going to have a good time. They don't know anybody. And you have a lot of transplants here. So people like myself, like yourself, who moved here at some point, and I don't know, they have to start over. How do you do that? And then people who, maybe are in transition too, right? People, divorcees, new relationship, got to start over. And how do you do that without necessarily dating? Maybe you don't want to do the Hinge and the, dating. How do you meet people just to have time? And so that was my inspiration.
Nice.
Cool. I got a question. Do you think social media made it the connection easier, or did it make it more complicated as far as like the platform and stuff?
Definitely more complicated. Yeah. I remember, I have sons, and just in talking with them and dating and all of that, coming through high school and going through to the prom, it's just a different thing. People, they really look at the number of followers you have. Like, that's a thing. Like, I can't date a certain girl because I only have 1,500 followers. That's a thing.
Yeah.
It's, right. It's crazy, right? And so so it has. I know it's made it more complicated. I think I used to say, you have more friends but less friendships.
That's true.
Right, from all over the country. I remember I actually ran for political office, I guess about 10 years ago now. And I realized I ran for Atlanta City Council. And City Council is only 5 miles square, right? Each district's about 5 miles. And I realized then that I didn't know anybody who lived within 5 miles of me, right? Thanks to social media.
Wow.
Followers and friends, thousands, 5,000. I think I maxed out on LinkedIn, right? None of them live within 5 miles of me. I'm a neighbor on one side and the other side, but outside of that, there was nobody that I knew who could vote for me. Nobody I knew could vote for me in that. And so it changed. That was another thing that kind of started changing my mindset on myself. Like, I need to get out and meet people, right? Because it's so easy. And where, even I live, where I live now, it's like, you pass people all the time, and you may not have a similar, experience, but if you live like in an apartment or a condo, what have you, you don't meet the people on the hallway.
Yeah.
But we're not coming over to each other's house for dinner like we used
Right,
to.
right.
Not anymore. I live and I think it's worse when you live in a home, especially if you don't live in a, well, even if you do live in a, I lived in a subdivision before I moved out here. I live in Loganville now, but people just don't, back in the day, new people moved over, you would go over and introduce yourself.
Bring
And
something over.
someone would bring over something. People don't do that now. And you don't
No.
even see, I don't think people interact with their neighbors as much. So that's a good point. Because I do have a great network, but I don't know very many people that live anywhere near me, Yeah.
That's true.
That's one of the issues that I want to kind of, address, is more local. Great Night, when we're working well, it'll be very local centric. It will be in other cities, but when you're in, a city, you'll be able to connect with people there who live near you, or at least within the city radius.
Yeah. I think it sounds like a connection between because I know there's a meetup app where people that you can go on that if you want to find people that like to do the same thing. And then it's like, I guess if you were to mix meetup with the neighborhood app, and then you could actually see what is going on. And then I love the fact that I was actually going to ask that, are you going to be moving into other cities as well? But Atlanta is a great place to start because you do have so many people. I read social media, so many people that feel alone, so many people that don't feel,
Yeah.
That is such a huge problem. I mean, that is actually the World Health Organization actually has created an entire, program around loneliness. It's become like they call it the next pandemic. If you look it up, chronic loneliness has been they figured out that chronic loneliness has the same effect, negative effect, or reduces your lifespan as much as smoking.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, wow.
That is a crazy statistic. Wow.
I'm sure it's probably for people, in the 50 age range and up, and probably more get hit harder with that.
Used to be, it was an elderly thing. Why there wasn't a lot of focus on it, right? It was just we accepted 70. Your friends have passed on, and loneliness. Your kids have moved on. Loneliness is a thing you deal with in your 70s, but these kids are in their 20s.
Wow.
And I think that's because of social. I believe that's social media because it puts up a wall, and it makes people feel like that, like you said, I can't imagine a kid's thinking I can't date a person because I don't have as many followers. But that is really sad. And I think I love things like this because I think the more often we get dressed and get out, actually have human interaction, it's healthy. It's just very healthy for us.
It is. I say that one of the things that I like to say is kind of like, could you live on protein bars and and smoothies, right? You probably could live.
You can't. Yeah.
But you'd be very sick, and I think there's stuff in the food that we can't replicate, right? You can take all the vitamins you want, you can eat all the protein bars, but there's stuff in real food, and the same thing is in real connection and real people. Yeah. There are stuff that we can't even necessarily define, chemical interactions. There's all kind of stuff that happens when you're in a room with a person that doesn't come across on the screen. So while we're having this conversation, is great to, for conversations and things like that, but there are millions of people who haven't left their house in years. Right? There are millions of people, and I don't know I don't know the exact statistics, so they never leave the house. But I would imagine thousands, tens of thousands of people right here in Atlanta who have not left their house in years, and all of their time on a screen. And that is, we're going to start to see, and the thing about social media is really kind of new. It's less than 15 years old. So we haven't really seen the effects. Our generation, and definitely our the next generation. So, one thing with Great Night is, while it is a social network, I call it the on-ramp to the real world, right? So you can spend time on the app, but unlike the Facebooks and Instagram, the goal is not to keep you on the app. The goal is to give you a tool to meet people so that you can go out and have a good time in real life and not just spend all day in the blogs.
I love it.
Question: are you seeing more men or women gravitate towards the app?
Yeah, surprisingly to me, it's been more men.
Really?
I really thought it would be more women, but to date it is large, but it is still almost 50-50. I mean, there's probably 55% men, 45% women. So it's not a huge.
Why do you think that is?
I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't figured we need to get more research on why it is this solution. And it could also be, that men suffer more from being introverted, right? From not having a community in the club, right? So when you, as a man, and you, Victor, you can probably relate, that, when you go, it's on you to start conversations.
Yeah.
As a woman, it's more, you just kind of wait and, just the party.
Right.
So for a man, the brand promise of kind of connecting you with people online, that you can now the conversation is already warm without the commitment of a date, right? So now a young lady on Great Night that I'm interested in, I like her profile, what have you. We go to similar things, and I can message her, and now we can be at whatever event or whatever in the city without the pressure of the hinges or the dating apps that people.
Oh, that's nice. That's cool because for the guy, there's a lot of pressure involved. You gotta you show up and you gotta read the mind. Well, does she like me? Does she not like me? Then you gotta pay for drinks and you have most of all the energy to meet this woman. Do I want to? How do I approach her? What does she like? What does she doesn't? What it's a lot involved in meeting a person. I haven't done it for a while, but it's a lot involved.
Yes, it's like you can say, like, I see you're into house music. Block and Drum has a Saturday. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah,
that is okay. So that does give guys help with coming up with dating options. I like that. I'm gonna share that with my single guy friend. That is all. That gotta have a little bit of a leg up. I like that. I like that.
I mean, it's good because it's good.
Yeah, I think the dating site sometimes there are people that don't want to necessarily do that, or you just may want to meet friends, girlfriends that like to do what you like to do, So I like it. Let's let people know, Ray, how they can find the app and how they can, make sure that do you have a profile? How does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go on both app stores. It's just Great Night Social Events. And then we have a website. I actually just redid the website, and I want to test out. So greatnight.us. That'll take you to a web version. So we have a web version. We have native apps in both of the app stores. Getting a native app is great because you get the notification, also directions, and just some additional things you can't do on the web version. But if you don't want to add another app to your phone, which I hear a lot of them now, you can use the web version and have the same experience.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Well, I put that in the chat. We'll make sure to add it to the information on the site, and we'll put some information also on LenoxandParker.com. Yes. And like I said, we definitely look forward to connecting and hosting some, or at least posting some events from our perspective on Great Night ATL. Thank you so much, Ray.
I look forward to talking to you. All right, have a good one.
All right. I like that. That's nice. I do think that's interesting. There's more men. That means ladies, girls, go on over there and sign up. So that
I mean, but you gotta also think about like the historical facts of how women, the abuse they go through with the different apps, and the issues that women deal with when it comes to dating and the stalking, and it's crazy. So I won't get into that, but so
no, that's true. That's true. Yeah, when I was dating, I did not want anyone to meet me at my house, and sometimes even meeting you out in public, you want to make sure the person is not following you or not, so if you're meeting someone that you can see kind of what they're into and what they're doing, it could be a little less. I just think, dating can be very dangerous, so I like that idea of it being more social. And then because really all you need, I don't think you need like to date, you don't need a dating app to say, if you're just out and giving yourself opportunities to meet people, then you're going to find not just people to date, you're going to find friends, you're going to find people that just colleagues, or, you can just connect. It's connection more so, than just looking on a dating app. I'm not saying that that's not important, because most of us want partnership, but I do think this is a lot more natural way. I've got girlfriends not going on a dating app, but if you're on a site like this where you can do stuff that, like for me, I like to go horseback riding, so I can find people that like to go horseback riding and find
I like that,
and then if something happens organically, it just feels a lot more natural and a lot less pressure.
Less pressure, And I like the name too, Great Night. It takes the pressure off of the word dating or meetup, or it's really,
like it's just I like you just want to have a great night. And I also think that people that don't live in Atlanta, because
like
whenever
me?
I have family come here, they will know what's going on in Atlanta.
Exactly.
People go here, see something that's a little bit more, it feels like it's vetted a little bit more if it's gone through something, because sometimes somebody posts a flyer on social media, you don't know who that is.
Who's gonna be there? Yeah, you don't know who that is.
Who is that? So if you have something on here, it feels like it's been a little bit through the vetting, so you know that you can actually have a great night in Atlanta. So you guys check out the website, check out the app. I would just think it'd be easier to have it on your phone if you live here. But if you're coming to Atlanta, you guys that don't live here that watch the show, if you're coming, you can go to Great Night US, greatnight.us, and find out what's happening. So hopefully we'll get a chance to partner with them, or at least collaborate with them with our Black Music Month celebration and our men's celebration and Mother's Day events. So, moving on, we talked a little bit about the political issues happening in our country. And before Ray joined us, we talked about Devontae Hill, who is a young politician who is campaigning right now, and he sat down and had a conversation with our politics and communities editor, and we brought a snippet of that conversation for you guys to check out.
Just to get started, I'd like to give our audience a sort of a view of who you are as a person, as an emerging political figure. Can you take a moment to just introduce yourself, tell us about your background and the things that make you sort of stand out as a candidate?
Sure. My name is Devontae Hill. I am, aside from an emerging political figure, I'm an entrepreneur, an activist. The list goes on and on and on, but I think the most important factoid that I fall under would be a servant. I have always, since my birth, I've been raised to meet people at their need, and I'm just honored to be in the space of my life where that need and that call is now sending me to a place called Capitol Hill. And so we've done the groundwork over the course of the last decade or so. And even before then, we've just been meeting every issue as an opportunity to advance the love, the power, and the light of God.
Let's sort of zone in on the sort of last comments on faith and the light of God. I understand that your faith and religion has played a large role in the way that you view leadership, community, and sort of grassroots activism. So can you talk a little bit about the role that faith has played in your life?
Sure. I think when we look at 2020 and the Black Lives Matter movement, I think the difference between the Black Lives Matter movement and the civil rights era as we know it, as we celebrate Black History Month, the difference between the two is the emergence of Black Lives Matter happened out of the silence of the Black church. We notice in the civil rights movement, when you have your Dr. Kings and your Nat King Coles and your these movements were spirit and God driven and God led. The moral compass of these movements were rooted in spirituality. And so we see the rise of Black Lives Matter in 2020 out of the silence of the Black church. And so I am among few leaders who I see throughout the country that are leading this movement in a way that millennials can still identify the
Right.
moral compass of a movement. And I don't think we can tell anyone how to be angry or how to be enraged or if they should or shouldn't. But I think that we have to have guidance with our rage so that we aren't interpreted as a deep rebellion instead of good resistance.
I understand that you.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, that's very good. Very, very good start. If you guys notice anything about that interviewer, anything about that reporter, there may have been a little bit that felt familiar about that about that reporter. But no, definitely check out the full interview is on Lenox and Parker. Haitian Empress, welcome. We got started a little late today, but we love the fact that a few of you have been able to jump in and catch us live. If you don't catch us live, you can always join the replay of the reprint. But yeah, I think it's important for us to support young people as they want to get into government and to policies, because actually it's going to affect them in a much more direct way than some of us. You know, they are in the midst of trying to create their legacy, build their future, get started economically. Some of us have to start over, but a lot of them are just getting started, and these policies and things are definitely going to direct them, having a direct impact on them. So I love that. I just think that I think there needs to be accountability across the board. I know that I believe Devontae is barely, like, in his very early 30s. You know, and when I compare that with a Jim Clyburn, who is 85 years old, there's hands down, and they're not running against each other, but it just shows like a brain who's sharp and excited and full of fire and bigger. And Jim,
I think Claiborne's on his 18th. He's on his 18th. What do you call it?
Term. Yeah, 18.
Term,
he's running for his 8th. So he's running for his 18th term. He's been in office for 17 years. So he got started a lot later than Devontae. But I just think that, you know,
85. Yeah, 85.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think
there is.
Talking about the policies, Jim is not going to be affected in the same way that Devontae is. So
no.
I think you may need to move aside, sir. It's time to relinquish the baton, sir.
We're seeing a resurgence in the way how politics is done in this country, on both sides, negative and positive. Right? We've seen the white backlash. We've seen the white wave, if you want to call it that, of conservative Republicans, and you know, we've seen the racism, and we've seen all of this, you know, all the anger and all the stuff come out on that side. But now on the flip side of things, on the black side, I would say we've seen, you know, people like Jasmine Crockett come out, and there's two other congressmen in Tennessee, younger gentlemen as well. We've seen a lot of our people on our side come out, and there's a resurgence, like the MLK days, like, you know, the civil rights movement days, where people are bringing faith and family back into politics and standing up for the little people. And so I like that. I think it's something good. But in terms of the ageism thing, the reason why I think it's important that we we keep younger people involved in politics is because of the change in times. Not the age as far as, like, you know, when a person gets to be 85 years old, he or she is no longer capable of running for an office or holding a seat, but you tend to lose a grip on reality when it comes to social issues, when it comes to economical issues, because you don't have the same grip. You don't have the same way. Right, you're not out here, you know, getting gas the same way as a young person is. You're not out here buying food like they are. You're not affected by the social, economic things that come up like they are, like we are. You know, so you have to realize that and say, okay, it's just like a person that goes for a higher office, like president or Senate or Congress, right? And it's like, they always do this thing where it's like, how much is a gallon? How much does eggs cost? How much does a carton of milk cost? And if you get to a certain stature in life where you are a millionaire or plus or whatever, and you don't buy eggs, you don't buy milk, you're not going to know the cost of it. It's not going to affect you the same way. So you cannot relate to the person that your constituents. And I think
some of them are still. Cause I had my godfather's birthday here this past weekend. He's 84 years old, and he said that he definitely he and his wife, who was 92, are financially set. Like, they're not a part of the struggle. And we're talking about inflation, and he said, well, thank God that, okay, because whatever he's going to earn, he's already earned it, and his situation is already set. Same thing, I'm sure, for Mr. Clybourne.
Of course.
He's not out there actively creating income and revenue, because whatever he has is a part of his retirement or his whatever. It's not, but the younger people that are fighting for more wages or for balance in this, for healthcare issues, like, I just think that
it says that Claiborne enters the race with $1.5 million in cash in his hand to compete against his opponent. So he has money. It might not be a lot of money, but $1.5 million to run your race in the Carolinas is good for a person that age. So you don't need the same things at 85 as you do at 25 as you do at 35. You're not buying the same types of food. You're not doing a lot of activities. You might be in your home, you might pay for internet and lights and the normal stuff, but you're not doing extra stuff. You're not out there buying more clothes. You're not going on these lavish vacations. You're not, because you're just not in that space. I mean, even at 55, even at 50, you're not doing the same things when you were 30. You're not.
I mean,
you at home. The typical person's at home by 9 o'clock and in bed by 10 at 55 and 60.
Definitely not that typical person, because I will be out in these streets tonight.
You're not 55 or 60. I'm saying,
I'm on my way.
The adjustment happens.
You're right. By 55, I will be. Look, I'm not coming. I'm not coming.
Is where? Nope, not coming.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the Ray J situation, but I think because of time, we will focus on that on Friday. But I do want to talk about this. I talked about this on Fox yesterday. The situation with the Coldplay Kiss Cam, Kristen Cabot, who was the woman that was caught on camera at the Coldplay concert in a romantic embrace with her boss. And I wanted to talk about this because she is a white woman. She's obviously a woman of privilege because she's blonde, blue. I don't think you get any more privileged than that. She had a very good career. She went on Oprah's podcast and she did two things. Well, I thought I learned three things. I learned that, first of all, she is attempting to change the narrative, right? Which I understand. That's what anybody would do. She obviously has some good people in PR because she's being heralded. She actually is speaking at a PRSA coming up conference and receiving that on a ticket where the tickets to come and hear her speak are $875 a piece.
Whoa. That's like a Kanye West concert. Yeah, Kanye tickets are like $700, $700 plus.
To see Kristen Cabot, who has been made famous because she was cheating on her husband. Now she came on Oprah's show and she said it was a little bit contradictory in my opinion, Marriott, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. She said that she and her husband have been separated, right? I'm assuming they were still in the same home, but they were separated. And also that said husband was also at the concert unbeknownst to her. So she said her daughter texted her to let her know that her husband was also at the concert. And then she was concerned about potentially running into him. Little did she know, not only would he see her, but everybody would see her.
Everybody would see her. Yeah.
Everybody would see her. She's so if you're separated from your husband and you're not doing anything wrong, then you would not have a reason. The way she's trying to spin this is she's explaining. She was like, well, you know, everyone has is in close proximity to their boss. Yes. In corporate, you do have,
No.
but not to where you would be in a loving embrace. Like those are two separate things, Miss Cabot. And I feel like Oprah, I didn't get a chance to see. I had to stop before the entire thing because we just had a very busy day yesterday. But I watched enough of it to feel like there's a lot of hypocritical, contradictory conversation here. And I was surprised Oprah didn't hold her accountable. If it had been the Oprah Winfrey Show and not the Oprah podcast, she would have definitely held her feet to the fire, I think, in a different way. So it's one or two things. Either you're defending the fact that you were close to your boss, or you are saying that you were already broken up from your husband and there was no problem. But the problem is, then she said that she was getting death threats and all this. Okay, that doesn't mean that you weren't doing anything wrong. And according to our understanding, the husband was the man that she was interacting with was also cheating on his wife. So regardless, there's no way to make this right. I wish that she would have taken accountability. I did not feel like there was accountability taken in that interview.
I have a question. You say she was separated from her husband?
That's what she said.
And the other guy was separated from his wife. Separation doesn't mean divorce.
It does not.
So we'll start there. You're separated from your husband, you're going to a concert, and you don't know that he's going to be there. Why are you concerned about him being there? First of all,
why is your daughter texting you,
telling you that
to be there? That means the daughter probably knows that
you were going to go with the other guy to the concert.
Yeah, the daughter is involved in the ruse. Yes.
Yeah. That's what that seems to me. When you say something like that, it's like, okay, so she's texting you saying that he's going to be there because she's keeping tabs on the dad because you don't communicate enough with him. But so now you're looking out to see if he's going to be there. And that she's like, well, it was a big stadium, Gillette Stadium's big stadium, so I wasn't, I didn't think I was going to run into him. Well, yeah, you were gonna run into him because if you're with someone for a long time, you kind of know their habits and you kind of know what they're into and stuff like that. You would know where she would kind of be at. So that was the point.
Didn't know that the husband was going to be there because allegedly he was there with his own date. We don't know that because we didn't see him.
But I'm saying in terms of she's saying that she didn't plan to run into him at the event. I mean, she didn't. She could say whatever she wants to say. I think this is a media spin. Second, I don't like the fact that she went on Oprah. I think, to me, when I saw the clip, all I saw was one black woman sitting in a chair, which was Oprah, surrounded by a plethora of white women, as the Oprah show tends to be catered to. And it seemed like someone bought a very good media buy because it's like, okay, Oprah is going to be the one that is going to validate and if I go on Oprah dressed a certain way, you could look at how she was dressed and say, okay, this is all, a media play. Crystal, how that look how she's dressed. She got on the Liz, what's that brand? Whatever that brand is.
Like Liz Claiborne, the very very white woman.
Clean lines. Yeah, very. So she went shopping at the Gap, not Gap, but the whatever. White market, black market, whatever. White House, black market. I should know those brands, but I do. But yeah, she goes on a show and she's sitting face to face with Oprah. Oprah is a name that validates. When you get stamped by Oprah, it's like, okay, you've validated what you're saying without even fact checking, because Oprah you would think Oprah would do that. And I think Oprah's platform is a white platform. I hate to say this, but yeah, Oprah has a white platform. She's a black woman that caters to a white audience. Whether she does willingly or whatever the case is, we just know what Oprah is, what it stands for. So being on that platform, it brings our defense levels down. Okay, well, let's hear what she got to say. And now she's spinning this whole thing as we were single. She said, and this is what she said on the show. Me and my husband are separated. I've worked with anybody who knows me. I've worked with other CEO presidents or other CEOs and companies, and we were close. I'm like, who says that, right?
What does that have to do with anything? Why? Just because you were close, that's not what you guys were. You were not close. You were in an embrace.
Yeah, and then, right? If you were a single woman and you were like, you were single and you were outgoing or whatever, when the cameras came to you and he left, you would have been like dancing, like, yeah, whatever. She ducked and ran away. So your marriage was not where it was. You probably got divorced or separated more after. Whoever her damage control PR is, they're doing a wonderful job because
they're doing a wonderful job, and they have a lot of money. There's
a lot of money. Yeah, they throw a lot of money.
I don't think there's any place a white woman, a blonde, white, privileged woman would feel safe.
Well, let me say this, right? Let me add this to the conversation. This happened last year sometime, right? Why is she back in the picture now? If it was such an embarrassing moment,
run and she's going to make money off of that. I just said she's doing engagements of trying to reclaim the narrative, and now she's going to make money off of it. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that this you're not being accountable because you're and nobody else is saying it. Nobody else is saying that's not holding yourself accountable by trying to downplay the marriage by saying that you all were separated, estranged. And then you're saying also that you were always close to your CEOs. Were they also married as well? Because there's a certain thing that workplace etiquette that is acceptable, but that's beyond that. And there's no accountability. She tried to make herself seem like a victim, saying that people were talking without knowing what happened. No, we knew exactly what happened. You got caught out with someone that wasn't your husband. He was caught out with someone that wasn't his wife. And unfortunately, your children were involved in it, because for your daughter to call you to give you a heads up, that's very telling. So,
how much do you think she paid Oprah to do?
I don't know, but I think she's doing, like I said, she's doing a number of events.
The press run.
This was all in preparation of her big speaking engagement with the dang near $1,000 ticket. So she's going to be, someone said that she's going to pivot into a new career. Absolutely. She probably was let go or resigned from her position.
She resigned.
And now she's getting ready to come into a whole nother career path.
Yeah, but I would have, me personally, if it was me and I was embarrassed like that, I would have kept quiet. I would lay low. First of all, write a book or something, come up with, write a book and something explaining, but I wouldn't go on a press run, because what it's doing is, to me, if you were so embarrassed the first time, you're bringing this up again. No one asked you to come out and say this or do this. I understand that you probably feel you were slighted because of a job or whatever, but I don't like it. I think it's.
So they're saying that. So the guy that she was with, he has never spoken publicly, and it looks like he and his wife have reconciled. Prayers, sorrows to his wife. Cabot did lose her job and received death threats and became a global punchline. I see this whole thing was positioned to make her a victim. I don't think she's a victim.
No, I don't think so.
You made decisions. You got caught by a freak of nature. Everybody that goes to, people make jokes about the kiss cam, them finding people that are having affairs. You were stupid enough to be in a public booth, a suite, one of those very expensive suites, at the front,
camera pointed right at you.
At the front, hugged up with your boss. So is it the camera guy's fault? Is it your fault? You were bold enough to be in the middle of an affair, hugged up with your boss in public. That's your problem.
You were in public.
And I definitely don't condone death threats or all that. I don't know where that came from, but I do think that she's painting herself out to be this damsel in distress, and I'm not buying it. You were cheating on your husband. Being in close proximity with your superiors is not a defense. That's not a defense for cheating with your boss. The fact that you have to
Especially,
go to your boss's office, that your boss's office is in close proximity to yours, that is not an excuse for
yeah,
having your boss's arms wrapped around your waist and swaying to music in a romantic moment. Not the same thing, lady.
yeah,
And until we ask people to be honest and say, I made a mistake, I was doing the wrong thing. But I feel like too often, and I have nothing against white women because I'm not like that, but I'm be honest, too often
mhm,
white women get a chance to just sugarcoat things and
and
be
move
the
on.
victim.
Yeah,
And it's like, nah, that's not,
yeah.
no. If
And,
that
and,
was, mm-mm.
And what's crazy, like what Haitian Empress says, she wasn't HR. Like, how hypocritical can you be to be in HR or be the director or the head or be in HR and not know the office
You
workplace?
know it.
If you
You don't
know,
think it applies to you because you are a privileged person.
yeah,
And the fact that you were not only with him in public, but you were in the front of the suite. That
yeah,
camera
mhm,
caught them because they were out in plain sight. So
yeah, yeah,
I don't have any empathy. If you say you're wrong and you made a mistake, then of course everyone has
yeah,
the opportunity for redemption. But
yeah.
trying to go around saying that this is that you were victimized and that you are in close proximity to your boss. If he's married and you're married, then that there should be boundaries.
Even if it wasn't, it's still not good workplace ethics, especially if you're a HR person. Like you can't.
Right. Even if you're single, it's still
Yeah,
not a good look, ma'am.
no,
Even if
yeah,
he was single, it's still not a good look, ma'am, because you work in HR. You are part of the department that implements the workplace culture. So unless that relationship is out, it is it's in a public. You guys have talked about it being public. If you are wrapped up in your boss's arms, even as a single person, it's a bad look. So Kristen Cabot, I am really disgusted that other PR professionals are embracing this, but I also
mhm,
understand it's a money grab. So they're probably being paid. She's got a team of very influential, probably white women working on her behalf. And it's not about color, but we do have to call a spade a spade. If this woman was a different color, it would not have been played out like this. So
It
yeah, I'm
it
not
also
feeling it.
it also shows you what this country is because look what they did to Monica Lewinsky back in the day, and now look what we have here. It's you know what I'm saying? Like
That's true.
the moral compass of this country is so off. It's that we can bring somebody on a platform like Oprah, who is well known
And celebrate
and
it and
and
celebrate her.
celebrated, yeah,
And
celebrated,
wrap our arms around her and says she's. I'm not saying that people do wrong, that redemption is not there, but accountability comes first. Accountability comes more than redemption. The Haitian Empress
yeah,
says this stupid story got more coverage than the 715,000 Black women who
yep,
were laid off or exited from corporate since February 25th, and 500,000 Black men since 225. I agree. I just think I don't, this is not something that needs our time or concern. Oprah consistently, in my opinion, aligns herself, and she's a mentor of mine, so I'm not speaking this disrespectfully, but that's aligning with the wrong message. Like
yeah.
this
We
is
don't
a
need that.
married
Yeah,
white woman.
yeah,
I don't care where you were in your marriage until you're divorced, you're married, and you are in HR, which means you set the standards, you send the books out, you
yeah.
discipline others.
Hmm.
That no, no, ma'am.
I'm very disappointed with a lot of our black platforms. I really am. Like it seemed to be catering a lot more towards the other side. Again, I'm not like bad or I don't hate white people or nationalities, but I just feel like the ones that we seem to look up to the most has let us down a lot, and it just I don't know. I just like Empress said, we should be talking more about the people who've been the black men and women who have lost their jobs, and
Yeah.
here we talk
And
about
then
yeah.
why that
So
is and how do we fix that and what can we do?
yeah,
We're going to get into that a little bit on Friday. We're also going to talk about Sonia Norwood standing up for her son. A lot of people have been concerned about Ray J's antics, but
okay, yeah,
Sonia Norwood has come forward and said that and had her son's back and basically spoken clapped back at Kris Jenner, who still suggests she did not leak that infamous sex tape years ago. So we're going to talk about that on Friday. We also got Jamal Burke, Bottom Line Burke, joining us in
yeah,
sports. So join us on Friday. We'll be definitely talking about, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the series Imperfect Women. Immediately following our broadcast Friday, we're going to do an IG Live, talking a little bit more, so you can catch us over on Instagram after YouTube. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're going to get out of here. We're running a little bit late today, but we just appreciate the fact that we've had up to 15 people today watching live, even though we started.
Thank you, guys. Well, it wasn't our fault. Like I said, it was technical difficulties. We're working to fix those things, and Friday we'll be back stronger than ever. And we appreciate you guys for hanging with us, coming back and hanging with us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Always.
And,
we're still here. Happy National Women's History Month, you guys. We'll be back on Friday.
Yes.
Yes, and like the live before you leave. Thanks.
Please
Tammy.
do.
Please like and share this before you leave.
Yes.
It's 12 noon on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West.
And this is Reprint.
This isn't breaking headlines. This is a second look with context added for perspective.
This is Reprint, edited after the headlines.